Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in to another video. Today I want to very simply answer this question for you. Is now a good time to sell? And more specifically, is now a good time to sell your home? After I give you this answer, I want to answer this question. Will spring 2023 be better? And will it be a better time for you to sell your home? I'm getting asked this question a lot, so I figured why not give my answers and my explanation as to what I think is going on. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Is the time to list right now? Or should you be waiting until spring 2023 to put your home on the market? I look forward to hearing what you have to say. So as promised, to question number one, is now a good time to sell my home? And what really defines what is a good time to sell your home? In my experience, it's that you want to sell your home as quickly as possible and for as much money as possible. Answering that first part of the question, selling your home quickly, we're looking at across all of Treb about 33 days for a property to sell. So a listing is selling in 21, but that actual property from the first time it is listed till it actually sells, it's taking about 33 days. To break it down by region, in Halton region, that's 37 property days on market. Peel region, we're looking at 36 days. In Toronto, it's 33 days. York region, 32 days. And Durham region, 26 days. So by this first criteria, in terms of selling your home quickly, I think that we can say it's not a great time to be selling at this point in time. About that second piece of the pie, looking at it in terms of getting a ton of money for your home. What I want to look at here is the sale price to list price ratio. I understand the flaw with this number. When people are under listing properties all the time, this number will be inflated because market value is truly higher. It's not so much selling over asking, it's listing under value in my opinion. But I think it does give us a good indication of the heat of the market. You can see when things were really hot at the beginning of 2021, we saw a big jump in prices that kind of flattened off. And then in the beginning of 2022, we saw a big jump in prices. And that was kind of highlighted here as well in the sale price to list price ratio. Where are we at recently? We're about as low as we have been for the last 5 years. We're actually very comparable to what we were seeing back in 2018 and 2019. So what this is telling me is that people are not lining up to offer to just empty their pockets for your home. You are not getting a ton over asking all the time. Using this offer night strategy isn't working. It's not a guarantee that we're going to sell your home for over market value at this point in time. So I guess from the criteria of selling your home quickly and for a boatload of money, I'm gonna have to give it 2 X's to this point in time to say it's not a great time to be selling your home. Another factor we'd look at is the number of sales happening, because it's an indication of how many buyers are out there. And you can see that I've circled, going back for the last 5 years, this is November and December is circled in here. And you can just see the fall off in buyers in November and December. And you can see where October was all the way over here. It's always quieter in the winter. It's usually not the best time to list your house. And I think this year isn't going to be any different. We will see where this number shakes out come November, end of November, how many sales actually occur. And that'll kind of be an indicator of where we're going to go in December, in my opinion. And lastly, market numbers aside, I know we got the American flag up here, but this is a pretty good indication of what winters are like in Canada and the greater Toronto area, at least, which is where we're trying to answer this question for. So you may argue that this house looks a little prettier with some snow on it than it does in the springtime when a home shows a little bit better. But remember, buyers are having to drive to your property. We know what happens in Canadian winters here. We know that snow means the holidays as well. People may not be as focused on real estate. It's not as easy to show a property, even in terms of daylight. Gets dark a lot easier. Your home's not showing the best in the winter months. So again, all of these reasons that I just went over, I feel like answers the question that now is probably not a great time to be selling a house. Before we answer this question, will spring 2023 be any better? If you stuck with me this far, I'd really appreciate you subscribing to the channel, maybe liking this video, sharing it with a friend, turn on some notifications so you don't miss whenever I put out content. I do it weekly or more. Back to answering this next question, will spring 2023 be a better time to sell your home? Because just because now isn't a great time doesn't necessarily mean we are going to have some great, amazing, brilliant time to list your home in the future. So we'll start in reverse this time, just back to this picture. Sure, the weather will be a little nicer. Your home's going to show better in the springtime, but I feel there are other factors that are going to affect the market going forward. First off, our Bank of Canada rate increases and what can you expect? So these are projections for over the next 12 months. 50 basis points potentially in December. I'm hearing maybe it's 25 as well. That's kind of all up in the air as to how big this jump is going to be. But we do expect another call it at least 50 basis points of interest rate hikes, and we know how prices in the GTA are very, very tightly correlated with interest rates. As interest rates go up, prices will continue to come down. So this doesn't give me any guarantee that spring 2023 is going to be a better time to get more money for your home. The next thing you'll be battling with in the springtime is going to be a flood of new inventories, flood of new homes coming to market to compete with yours. So what I've done here is I kind of skipped out on 2020 because that was the weird pandemic year. But you can see when the majority of listings come to the market at any given year. So this is March through May that is circled here. Again, March through May, March through May, March through May. The majority of listings on the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board hit the market in that 3-month time frame, meaning there's more competition, more selection for buyers out there. Again, homes do show a little better, but with more selection, if we kind of add a bunch of supply into the system with an equal amount of demand, that's downward price pressure. And again, you may not be getting top dollar come spring 2023. And then the last factor I think we do have to consider, which doesn't have to do so much with the real estate market specifically, is just this dreaded R word. And here's some headlines you can see. Ontario expecting economic growth to drop off as Canada faces possible recession. The majority of Canadians think we'll enter a recession soon, a survey finds. Canada to enter short technical recession, according to some economists. The word recession and what that does to consumer sentiment, and if we do truly enter into a short or a longer drawn out recession, I think real estate and spending money on a big asset like this will be the last thing on somebody's mind. They may just be trying to deal with layoffs, job loss, the price of everything else getting more expensive. Dropping a bunch of money on a new home in the spring may be the last thing on their mind. So again, I think these are all just negative factors that will be affecting the housing market come spring 2023. Long story short, I think I answered both questions. Is now a great time to move? No. Properties are sitting on the market for longer. People aren't paying as much relative to list prices they were in the past. There's just not as many buyers out there. And again, showing conditions in the winter in the GTA in Canada just aren't that great. But will spring 2023 be better? I can't guarantee that. With everything that we have seen, there's going to be more inventory. So we talked about that supply-demand equation. There also will be another interest rate hike or two potentially before the spring. And that big recession that is looming is going to really bring people's focus away from housing altogether. I'm not saying it's going to be a great time to sell either. What I am saying is that if you have a big life moment where you need to sell, that is when you should be selling. Promotion, downsizing, upsizing, unfortunate death that you need to sell a property, things along these lines. Those are the moments when you should be transacting in real estate. I hope I was able to provide some value and insight today, breaking down some of these numbers and giving my reasons for why I don't feel like it's a great market to sell in right now and why I can't guarantee the spring will be any better. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video today. I look forward to speaking to you again next time. Until then, stay safe and cheers.